Asato Ma Satgamaya Tomaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Amrit Yoma Amritam Gamaya Asato Ma Satgamaya Tomaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrit Yoma Amritam Gamaya Asato Ma Satgamaya Tomaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrit Yoma Amritam Gamaya Asato Ma Satgamaya Tomaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrit Yoma Amritam Gamaya Asato Ma Satgamaya Tomaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrit Yoma Amritam Gamaya Asato Ma Satgamaya Tomaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrit Yoma Amritam Gamaya Asato Ma Satgamaya Tomaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrit Yoma Amritam Gamaya Asato Ma Satgamaya Tomaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrit Yoma Amritam Gamaya Asato Ma Satgamaya Tomaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrit Yoma Amritam Gamaya Asato Ma Satgamaya Tomaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrit Yoma Amritam Gamaya.
Pause. Okay. My microphone isn't working, so let's check my microphone. Hold on a second and see if it's working now. Okay, let's oh, let's see what is going on. And so today we talk about soul contracts. It is no coincidence that I am by myself in this space at this moment. I had to stop the video because the microphone stopped working. Voice expressing myself cut off. I had the music playing for the Asato Ma Prayer, and I normally come in and my microphone is working. But today, my computer decided that it was going to run out of battery, and I had to switch to my dad's computer because he drove over and saved the day. And now everything is off from what I'm used to using. So I am sitting here by myself and so grateful that I am by myself. I mean, my son is with me, but by myself as far as participants, because it was a really choppy start to this audio, to this video. So of course, Source has my back and is like, well, just keep this private for right now while you record your thoughts. And then perhaps there's a show too that is about soul contracts where it's more dialogue between us. And that time, the computer is going to be working. Everything is going to flow more smoothly. There are just so many validations or lessons or reflections about soul contracts. And it is no coincidence that it is all unfolding right here. So I am trusting that the microphone is working, that the video is working, that everything is in harmony, and what is meant to come forward is going to. When I was reflecting about soul contracts, I started thinking immediately of, the contracts we have with other people. I think that's what most people are curious about. Do I have a soul contract with my husband or with my children or with my wife or with, my best friend or that guy that I loved in high school, or, who do I have soul contracts with? And there's a bit of like a mystery to it, this romantic idealism of the soul contract is something that's very fairy tale-ish, and so we want to explore it from that perspective. And there are those moments, I believe, that feel fairy tale-ish. What I have realized today, what has been unfolding for me all day, is this this knowing that the most important soul contract that we have is with ourselves first. The soul contract that says, I'm going to go down and I'm going to do that human thing in that lifetime, in that body, with that family, with all those other soul contracts I'm going to set up. I'm going to go do that thing, and I'm going to show up for myself first. And so, of course, today has been one piece being let go of after another, and for me. And so I arrived in this place that my soul has called me to, right? So Soul Stories is my vulnerable sitting with my soul and examining, exploring, stepping into the biggest version of the contract, the scariest version, the most frustrating version, the kind where I was like, if no one's going to be on, why do I even have to do this, right? Like, why am I going through the hassle of making sure that the video works and checking the audio? And what the hell? Like, why even do it? But I have the soul contract with myself. I have this big soul inside of me that keeps bringing me back to this chair and planting me down and opening my mouth and strengthening my back and letting my eyes send these messages out to the world. So here we are. What do I know about soul contracts? I think the place to start with soul contracts is this understanding of the the dance between the soul and the human experience. So we'll start there. Religion has us locked in, depending on which religion we are raised with or we believe. You know, religion has us believing that there's one type of path that all must follow, and if you follow that path, then you are going to go to heaven or find enlightenment or be saved, or whatever the language is for that religion. When we follow the religion and we follow the rules and we follow the steps that are laid out in front of us, then whatever the words are that the religion uses, the soul, the spirit, the essence, will find its way to the heaven, nirvana, paradise, healing, whatever language we use. So religion has it in a very rigid way. We come in to the human body and we do this thing, and then we ascend into whatever the next plane will be. To me, the journey of a soul, the contracts that souls made are at this universal level, this galactic level, this one field of energy level. We don't divide into certain religions or certain paths. There's one field of energy that is guided by Source, the original creator of all energy, all form. And so when we are in that oneness, we never separate from it. We are always in that connection, that harmony. And so when we are not here on planet Earth having these very frustrating human experiences and dealing with technology and sound and all that, when we're not here on Earth, when we are simply, I use that word with such joy, when we are simply a soul, we know all. We know that we're part of all. We know that we're part of this one field of energy, and there's just this sense of belonging, knowing that everything is love, and it's just going to be more love and more love and more love. And then at that soul level, we look down, and I use the word down, but sideways, up, perpendicular, it doesn't really matter. We look at this planet, this beautiful planet from space called Earth, Gaia. And we see this planet with green and water and white and atmosphere. And, you know, from the perspective of space, we can see souls going in, going out, having all these human incarnations, you know, and having this amazing expansion at a soul level, because they go down. It's really hard. It's really dense. And then they go back and they're like, whoa, what I learned, what I experienced. You know, so the planet Earth is very inviting, very exotic, very... I mean, there's no surprise people use the word school, right? I'm sure many of us have heard that term, Earth School. It is a hard school. It is a really intense place of learning. This planet, with all of its physical and emotional and density, it's tough. And also, this is where the soul expands in the most incredible ways. So when we're just the soul, we're looking at this planet, we're like, oh yeah, sure, right? Let's make some contracts. Let's make some contracts and go on into that planet Earth, and easy, right? We'll do that. We'll go on back and we'll have a party. And because time is not a factor when you're a soul, time isn't a thing. It's a drop in and a drop out, and it's a lifetime. It's fast, right? It's like you go in, do this thing. Here on Earth, it feels like forever. But when you're a soul, you're just hanging out, you know, looking at it, and time is not, it's not something that stops you from taking that experience. There's a great movie by Matthew McConaughey. What is it called again? I know, I'll think of it in a minute. But basically, they are traveling. Earth is needing support for people to go to another planet, and so they go on this spaceship, and different planets have different measurements of time. So if you stay on the ship, the spaceship, or they're traveling, whatever it's called, if you stay on that, it's like 30 years of your life in time. But if you leave it and you take the short detour through the side spaceship down to this one planet, it's like 4 hours. And it's such a beautiful description of, you know, time is relative, and here on earth we think that it's this one way, and yet when we die, because we will all die, when we die and we're sitting with all the other souls, we're like, how long was I gone, right? Like, that was nothing. That was just a blink. And here on earth, it was a full life of 70, 80, 90 years. We were flipping tired, right? When we left, we were exhausted. With the soul, it's just a moment, just an experience. So when we are up as souls, and again, I use the word up just as a term, right? When we're up and we're souls and we're hanging with all the other souls and we're discussing, you know, what should we experience next? What would expand our understanding of love or compassion, or, you know, how do we play with creation in a new way? You know, what new sounds could we bring into the physical? All these ideas, these sparks of creativity that are brought together when we're souls. We make incredible contracts then, right? We're up here and we're like, you and you and you and that one and this one. Oh, and me. Here is what I'm going to do when I go down there. And then we come here and it's like, whoa. Right? What happened? What happened? Why can't I do that thing that I know I came here to do? And so tonight it feels really important to talk about the contract with self first, right? Like, we each made individual soul contracts with ourselves. And we said, when we go down to this planet at this time, we're going to be brilliant. All of us, brilliant. We're going to be creative geniuses. We're going to be instant manifestors. We're going to be the most loving beings, kind to everyone. We're going to be so patient. We're going to be so like chill, and right, we make all of these incredible contracts. And then we arrive here and we forget all of it. All of it. That is the reason Earth is such a hard school. It's because we forget. The agreement we make in a human incarnation is that beautiful, wise, amazing soul that you are out there. You're going to forget that in the process of birthing. And you're going to forget until it's time for you to remember. So, have fun. Have fun. And when we're a wise soul up here, we're like, whatever, right? Like, I'm going to forget all that, and then I'm going to go down, I'm going to have a human experience. I'm so wise, like, I'll remember that immediately. I'll be fine. It's not going to be a problem. And so we come here and we're like, oh, we have to learn, right? We're babies. We have to learn how to use our hands and how to maneuver and how to crawl and how to speak. And then we have childhoods, and we have, you know, relationships that don't work and disappointments. And, you know, this journey becomes its own thing. And that is the second element of Earth. Not only do we forget what we already know, what we agreed to, how incredible we are, we also have free will. So when we are moving around this planet and making decisions, we're the ones in the driver's seat of our own lives. We're the ones that are like, yep, going this way, making this choice. And so in the creation of our journeys, of our lives, there are these choice points, right? Our soul knew, because we're a wise soul up there, our soul knew when we came down and we started going on these different pathways that sometimes it would feel too challenging, perhaps, to go to the right instead of going to the left. Or sometimes that relationship is so wounding that we need to really pull all the way in. And so even though we could have taken that more exciting transfer or more exciting new job or started that other new relationship, the human experience needs some internal time, needs some pulling back the throttle. And so in our wisdom as a soul, we saw our journey going like this, right? We're going to have this flight. We're going to be like the airplane that takes off and just keeps going. And then when we're here, it's like, you know, we're kind of like sputtering a little bit. And then maybe sometimes we fly and then crash land. And then we get back up. And it's just this weaving. And the only way to heal, that's not the right word. The only way to really understand it fully, to have the wisdom and the perspective here in the human journey, is with time, with you know, distance along the path. The further you go in your journey, the more you can look back and with hindsight go, oh yeah, if I'd have gone that way, it would have been this direction or this experience. If I'd gone this way, we start to make sense of the patterns that we've been creating. Some of us do that at age 10, and our lives are like boom, boom, and then shoo, right? Some of us do it at about age 30, which some of us, like me, do it at about age 40. You know, it's just so unique for each person. It's so unique. And the beauty of the soul contract with ourselves is that we can forgive those ways where we think we didn't do it right, or we think we could have done more, or we think we should have gone that way. When it's our own contract with ourselves, we can bring forgiveness into that and have more understanding. You know, the only person we're arguing with is ourselves. We're not debating some other person's energy and soul about what happened. We're here with our own soul. What feels most important to share tonight as we look at this self-soul contract is this call to greatness, this invitation to step into the highest version of your contract, to feel the pull, right? Like, as scary as this might be, this is the thing I've always wanted to do, or this is the book I've always wanted to write, or this is the album I've always wanted to create. This is the place I've always wanted to travel to, because I know when I go to that place, something inside of me is going to come alive in a way that it won't unless I go to that place. We all have those. Desire isn't even the right word. We all have those stirrings, those urgings. It's a magnetic pull. The soul at its highest level of contract, right? That soul is always going to be saying, go higher, come here, come up. It doesn't typically go, hey, let's slide down. Let's shrink in this life. Let's be really small in this life. The soul is like, come on, come on, be bigger, do more, right? Say that thing you've always wanted to say. The soul wants to fly. It wants to soar. It wants to expand. It wants to be bigger. It wants to have more capacity. That is the nature of the soul. The soul is always about creation. It's about creation. And not every lifetime where we come into the human body has to be this immense, crazy, amazing, huge, big experience. You know, some of the soul's lessons are, let's just expand our ability to be compassionate. Let's expand our ability to hear and to translate and, you know, to hold and to form. The soul has so many lessons that it comes here to experience. But here, right now on this planet, at this time, with all of the crises that we see around us, now the soul is being called to the greatness that we agreed to when we decided to come down at this time on this planet. Anyone who watches this video, there's a resonance in you that knows You came here to help this planet expand, to help Gaia, this beautiful planet. We looked from up here down at this beautiful little planet, this tiny little ball. When you look at the universe, tiny, tiny, tiny little ball. Right? It reminds me of the Who, Dr. Horton Hears a Who. We are that tiny, tiny little, whatever it was, little thing that you blow on and the things go everywhere. Sometimes the words fail me. We are that little thing, that little speck. And all of us humans on this planet, you know, we're co-creating whatever happens. So when we were up here deciding to come and be on Gaia, on Earth, we knew there would be this call to action. There would be a time where many people would use words like awakening, stirring, urging, more light, more love, greater harmony. Like all these are words that we knew we would hear. And the soul remembers that contract with itself that said, when I hear those words, it means it's time. And I've got to start bringing my gifts forward, being more vocal. I've got to, first, I think it's always get still, right? First, I've got to be still and plant my butt in the chair and tune in. And then I'll know what I am meant to bring forward. So that is what my soul reminded me of today, right? And it kept testing. The soul will test us. It will say, are you sure? Are you really, really sure? Are you really going to follow through on the thing that you said? Because it'd be super easy to just run up to Chick-fil-A and get a peppermint chocolate milkshake. For sure, one of the best things about this planet is ice cream. Definitely. The temperature, all of it, so good. But I digress. What my soul was saying is sit down and get in front of the camera and start speaking your truth. Because when you speak your truth, others are given permission to speak their truth. And the more of us who are doing that, the faster this shift into greatness is going to happen. The faster the solutions for healing our planet will happen. We will come up with them. And it's these individual soul contracts that need to be honored first. So it's really easy to hear words like this and to read articles and to watch, bloggers and, go to parties and talk to people and stay in the familiar patterns, stay in the familiar experiences. It takes courage and strength and this inner commitment to say to your own soul, I'm going to just keep showing up. I'm going to keep doing it. I'm going to keep expressing. I'm going to keep creating, right? And trusting that the soul is guiding you in your path of highest velocity, highest alignment. So that's what I got. That's what I've got in this moment. And there's so much more about contracts with other people, and those are more fun to talk about in questions and answers. One of the things that I love is to do a read of the energy. I do this often, to look at what is the dynamic in the contract, the way it's playing out right now, and then what is the contract we made from up here, and where's the discrepancy between the two? What we set up there and what we're doing down here doesn't always match. And so that's something that's really fun to do, and maybe we'll do that when I am grounded enough in this platform that there is room for people to join me. Because right now my soul is like, practice a little more. All right, is there anything else I would add in this moment? I would say it's kind of scary sometimes, part of the forgetting and then knowing what we came to do, knowing what our own agreements were, our own contracts, and then coming here and forgetting all of that. It's scary when you start to remember, because most of the people around us haven't remembered, or don't really want us to remember. They like how familiar we are. They like how comfortable things feel. And so it's scary for them when we change. Change isn't the right word. It's scary for them when we expand, we get bigger. It's scary for them when we do this. They want us to stay here on the ground and kind of keep hopping along. And that works for a while until our soul is like, I'm sorry, but you're going this way. And that's scary for us. When the soul just refuses to stop tapping you on the shoulder and whispering in your ear and nudging you like, come on, it's time to change, it's time to expand, it's time to heal those old stories, it's time to let go of those things that don't serve you anymore. It's the solar plexus, the stomach is like, ah! And the throat, when I was switching from Alicia to my screen, it was like, microphone not working, check microphone. Like, I know, the throat chakra for many of us when we feel that call to action, and the soul is like, speak, right? Say those things that you know to be true. The throat chakra goes into chaos. So when it feels scary, when your soul is clearly getting you ready to take off and it feels scary, just pull your energy in and get still and remember, allow yourself to remember who you are when you're not in the human body, who you are at this beautiful soul level. Allow your soul to show you how incredible you are, the joy, the delight that is inherent in the soul. Allow yourself to feel that, to really embody that. And then it becomes easier to, go up. Maybe we crash a little and we go back up, but it gets easier. Every time we trust and we come back after a little bump, we can go a little bit higher. So you just have to begin. You have to begin, and you have to trust the ways that your soul is guiding you. So meditation is always my way through. And the more of us who are doing this, the less scary it is. Yeah. Soul contracts, part 1. There will be more. All right, I am going to attempt to go over to the screen and turn on this song by Alicia Mathewson called Be the Light, which feels like the perfect way to end today's call. You may or may not hear the song. You may or may not hear me come in and say, I love you and goodbye at the end. It's all perfect. We're doing this. All right, so much love. Okay, share screen first. Hold on. It's going to give me a couple things here. Share computer sound. All right, we're almost there. And work.
Another December, and I'm coming home. Not like I've ever done before. I can't help but remember all the places you had me roll, so I could be here now for what's in store. And I'm gonna be the light I always dreamed I'd be the light for all to see. I'm gonna be the I'd be the light for all to see. Another December, and I'm being still, but not like I've ever been before. It's time to surrender to divine will and laugh as she opens every door. And I'm gonna be the light you always dreamed I'd be the light for all to see. I'm gonna be the light I always dreamed I'd be the light for all to see. It's up to each and every one of us to become what we know. Dig down deep inside ourselves and let it all show. Be who you are. You've got to be the light you always dreamed you'd be the light for all to see. You've got to be the light you always dreamed you'd be the light for all to see. The light, the light, another December, and I'm still here singing with all my soul. It's time to remember how to make friends with your fear and let yourself become whole. 'Cause we've got to be the light we always dreamed we'd be the light for all to see. We've got to be the light we always dreamed we'd be the light for all to see. The light, the light,